from the two Billy Ballou trucks. Those things were tore all to pieces. He must have just been exiting the corner when he lost his right front tire, scrubbed the outside wall, so
that's still a pretty good bit of damage, though, on that Gumbroker truck.
Now, Brian Eichler was able to get by the 30 of Todd Bodine, and so that makes Brian Eichler our Aaron's lucky dog as they go to work on the 23.
Now's an opportunity. As we see, the Aaron's lucky dog goes to Brian Eichler, but now's that opportunity for James Busher to come in and get those tires. He'll have about 35 laps less on his tires than will the rest of the field.
Now, that worked out perfectly for that team, wouldn't you say?
I
this
think
is
so.
Exactly when I want those tires.
Within 5 laps of exactly when I would have wanted them.
57 laps remaining in this race.
And here he comes down pit road. All the leaders stay on the racetrack, and here comes James Busher.
Brings Greg Pursley with him.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, not only do they need to change tires, they got to change the battery. You might wonder, why are they going to the left sides? Well, they're going to get the battery pulled out of there because James said his voltmeter had dropped way down. So they know they only have enough time to get that battery changed in left sides. They'll go back onto the racetrack, make sure they stay ahead of the pace car, then they'll come back down and get the right side tires put on there. It's going to put them back in the field, but they got to make sure they stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, he was going to be back in the field anyway, Ray. He and Pursley, the only two lead trucks on pit road. So getting that battery changed right now, getting 4 tires, I like it.
The sun has come out. The fans are enjoying a great show. Austin Dillon is putting on a phenomenal show here at Iowa Speedway. Stay with us on Speed. Welcome back to Iowa Speedway. Take a look at our summer swing. What's coming up here on Speed for the Camping World Truck Series? We go to Gateway, ORP, another short track, and then Pocono for the first time for the Camping World Truck Series.
Yeah, and back to Darlington for the first time in a few years, and awfully excited to see the trucks back at Darlington.
Look at that, 3 races in 11 days. This schedule gets crazy. These guys are going to have a lot of beating and banging short track style coming up.
And so often, and during this stretch of the year is when we decide our champion. He may not get crowned till November, but a lot of times it's decided during that stretch.
And remember, we're just 5 days away from our next race. So these guys have got a lot of turning around to do, getting ready for that Gateway race, because that's a Friday night race.
And these two tracks are a whole lot alike, so there's a chance a guy might have liked his truck here. He would want to take it to Gateway, and certainly Hornaday's not going to be able to do that. Look at these 2 point guys up in the points, tore all to pieces.
Along with Eric Almirola, Timothy Peters, just about everybody. Jason White was in the top 10 of points coming in. He's behind the wall right now.
The only ones that haven't really had problems today, Mike Skinner.
That's kind of the theme to the race today, isn't it? Those 2 trucks rolling off pit road tore up.
Yeah.
And Austin Dillon wearing them out. Another truck that's made a steady progression through the field, Phil, is Ricky Carmichael. He was about to get lapped when we had our first caution. I think he was the next truck to get lapped. Now he's worked his way all the way up into the top 10. He's got that truck running really well.
How about the tire monkey, Mario Goslin, right now running in 10th position?
Yeah, he did get lapped. Got an Aaron's lucky dog, back on the lead lap. You can see that tire monkey truck weaving back and forth. He and Ricky Carmichael just getting any dirt on those tires, any grit rubbed off of them, so they're ready to go when they throw the green.
I mentioned Mike Skinner, one of the guys in the top 10 who hasn't had many problems today. Another guy, David Starr, is in the top 10 in our points and hasn't had much problems. And we haven't seen a lot of him today, but he's currently running in the top 10, and he's making his 250th Camping World Truck Series start. So a big monumental day for him.
David Starr, absolutely. And how about Johnny Sauter? Comes in here 5th in points. Now, he was 264 behind when he came in, but he's going to gain a lot of ground. He may not move positions, but he's going to gain a lot of ground if he can get to the end without trouble.
The whole championship changed faces today. I mean, the way these trucks have had problems, things have been rearranged. Todd had a lead that some people would have said, just take Matt Crafton, for example. He was over 300 points behind. He said, I can still win this championship. Well, he goes up there and gets a top 2 or 3 finish today with the problems that Todd has. All of a sudden, we have to say, darn, you
may be right.
You might be onto something.
Big players in our championship and where they're standing. Hornaday is 26th right now. Timothy Peters 27th. Eric Almirola 28th. There's your points as they run. Our top point guys having problems. There's Eric Almirola again coming in. He was 2nd in the point standing.
Hard hit into the outside wall. That truck did not return to the track.
Engine problems for Timothy Peters. He comes in here 3rd in points.
And then the problems, the melee on the front stretch.
Todd Bodine, Ron Hornaday, both serious damage in that crash. Hornaday behind the wall. Todd returned to the track and had this happen.
Hornaday slams into the back of the 18. Got black flag for that. They came onto pit road, fixed the front as well as they could, and now it's about time for the green flag to come back out. Fans back on their feet. Green flag back out. Austin Dillon, Johnny Sauter, 1 and 2 across the stripe.
Johnny Sauter, now the first time he's been up there battling Austin Dillon on a restart. Austin right on the bottom.
Oh, look at the run. Johnny Sauter gets off turn 2. That's the first time we've seen somebody be able to make any progress with Austin Dillon. Sauter punches ahead off 2.
Great day for Thor Sport Racing. Johnny Sauter running second. Right now, out in front of that 3 of Austin Dillon. Back there, his teammate Matt Crafton in the 88. Here comes Skinner in the 5.
I love what Skinner's done, man. He's taken a truck that was marginal at best and driven it right to the front, battling for that top 5 spot.
50 laps of racing to go in Iowa. We're 3/4 of the way through this race. Johnny Sauter now out in front.
Had that big win earlier this year at Kansas to go with the win he got last year at Las Vegas for his first career win.
And we will continue to talk about it probably for the history of the Camping World Truck Series, but 2 trucks completely at a 45-degree angle to the path that they were trying to go at Kansas. Johnny Sauter and the 33 of Ron Hornaday. Now we've got a battle for the lead. Here comes Austin Dillon once again.
Austin showing some patience.
You see him wiggle a little bit off turn 4 there, tried to turn the truck down and make a hard run on Sauter, and it just wouldn't stick.
How much patience does Austin Dillon need to have right now? Because that truck has been so good all day. Does he just need to wait for an opportunity that Johnny Sauter gives him?
Well, you know, laps are running down. We're inside 50 to go. So, and he's been out front, so it's probably a little bit frustrating for him right now, Phil. He hasn't been in this position. He's going to want to grab that lead as quick as he can. But Sauter is running a line that is going to make it very difficult for Austin Dillon to complete that pass. We talk about momentum. He's going to be pinched down. It's going to be hard to get that run off the corner.
I think he might get it right now. Is he clear? Not quite. Remember, Austin hasn't been in dirty air this entire race till right now.
Wow,
he hasn't cleared.
He dives down into that 3rd turn. He's not going to worry about him being on the outside when they exit like I talked about. He's going to clear him on the way in.
And by the way, those new tires on that 31 truck are starting to work. James Busher now has already made his way up to the 7th position in just a handful of laps.
But again, James Busher had to change the battery on that truck.
So there he is right there coming off turn number 2.
Started a little bit further back in the field, but again on lead lap trucks all start up front. So he didn't have as far to go to get back up to the front, but right now running well in the 7th position.
Those double foul restarts are so good in so many ways. We talk about it. The restarts are more exciting. It gives an opportunity for somebody like James Busher to come in with some pit strategy, save some tires, know that he doesn't have to restart 32nd in line. He can restart 16th in line.
And it's so much better for the fans. The people that are racing each other are all grouped together. You know, you got the lead lap trucks in the front. You got the lap down trucks behind those guys. They're not side by side, all mixed up.
James Busher still trying to march through this field, right?
Go Ray.
We'll take a look at the speeds at the line before we get back with Ray.
Hey, Ray, we're going to take a look at the speeds at the line.
Austin Dillon out in front. How's he doing against his closest competitor?
I got a feeling he's going to be the fastest truck.
By far, by the way.
There's James Busher right there, 3rd quickest of the lead lap trucks.
You know, Sauter probably thought, Johnny probably thought, man, I got something for him now. My truck's got tires, got a little heat in them. I'm ready for Austin Dillon. Gets the lead on the restart, and then now he's thinking, where did he go? He's driving away.
And now the next truck that James Busher wants to get by is that number 2 of Ken Schrader.
Well, their strategy is working, Phil. That's the 2nd fastest truck. He's the only one that's running anywhere near the speeds that Austin Dillon's running, and he's doing it in traffic. So I like what Busher's team did. That was a smart call. It could possibly get him a 2nd place finish.
If he can get it.
We're not thinking win at this point.
No, we're not. We're just thinking we'd be happy with a 2nd. He drives around Schrader on the outside. That'll get him up to the 6th spot. Justin Lofton just up ahead in the white truck. And you can see he's right on the back of all the trucks that are in the top 5, with the exception of the black number 3, who is driven well away.
He's about 4.5 seconds ahead of James Busher right now.
Now that we've seen the speeds at the line, let's see what Ray thought of that. Ray?
Sorry about that, guys. When you were throwing it down to me, I had pulled my headset off to talk to Bud Hafele, the crew chief for Matt Crafton, and I asked him what his thoughts were about that tire strategy.